It is very seldom that mere, ordinary people, like John and myself, secure ancestral halls for the summer. John is practical in the extreme. He has no patience with faith, an intense horror of superstition, and he scoffs openly at any talk of things not to be felt and seen and put down in figures. John is a physician, and perhaps, I would not say it to a living soul, of course, but this is dead paper and a great relief to my mind. Perhaps that is the one reason I do not get well faster. You see, he does not believe I am sick. So I will let it alone and talk about the house. The most beautiful place. There's a delicious garden. I never saw such a garden. Large and shady, full of box-bordered paths and lined with long grape-covered arbors with seats under them. The place has been empty for years. That spoils my ghostliness. I am afraid, but I don't care. There's something strange about the house. I can feel it. John said he came here solely on my account, that I was to have perfect rest and all the air I could get.
Your exercise depends solely on your strength, my dear. Your food, your appetite, but air. Air you can get all the time.
It is a big, airy room, the whole floor nearly, with windows that look all ways and air and sunshine galore. I never saw a worse paper in my life, one of those sprawling, flamboyant patterns committing every artistic sin. It is dull enough to confuse the eye in following, pronounced enough constantly to irritate and provoke study, and when you follow the lame, uncertain curves for a little distance, they suddenly commit suicide, plunge off at outrageous angles, destroy themselves in unheard of contradictions. John laughs at me so about this wallpaper. He said that after the wallpaper is changed, it would be the heavy bedstead, then the barred windows, then that gate at the head of the stairs, and so on.
You know this place is doing you good, my dear. And besides, I don't really want to renovate the whole house when we only have a 3-month rental.
Then do let us get downstairs. There's such pretty rooms there. I wish I could get well faster, but I must not think about that. This paper looks to me as if it knew what a vicious influence it had. There is a recurrent spot where the pattern lolls like a broken neck and two bulbous eyes stare at you upside down. There are things in that wallpaper that nobody knows about but me, or ever will. Behind the outside pattern, the dim shapes get clearer every day. It is always the same shape, only very numerous. And it is like a woman stooping down and creeping behind that pattern. I don't like it a bit. I begin to think, I wish John would take me away from here. It is so hard to talk with John about my case because he is so wise and because he loves me so. But I tried it last night. It was moonlight. The moon shines in all around just as the sun does. I hate to see it sometimes. It creeps so slowly and always comes in by one window or another. John was asleep and I hated to waken him, so I kept still and watched the moonlight on that undulating wallpaper till I felt creepy. The faint figure behind seemed to shake the pattern just as if she wanted to get out. I got up softly and went to feel and see if the paper did move, and when I came back, John was awake.
What is it, little girl? Don't go running around. You'll give yourself a cold.
I thought that it was a good time to talk, so I told him that I really was not gaining here, and that I wished he would take me away.
My darling, we can't possibly leave just now. The lease is still for 3 more weeks, and the repairs aren't even done at home. I couldn't possibly leave the town now. Look, if you were in danger, I would leave. I would, but you're getting better. Trust me. I'm a doctor. I know these things. You're getting better. The flushing color is coming back to your face, and you're gaining weight. I know you're getting better, even if you just can't see it.
I do not weigh a bit more, nor as much. My appetite might be better in the evening when you are here, but in the morning it is worse when you are away.
Bless her little heart.
She'll be as sick as she pleases. But let's improve the shining hours of the night by going to sleep and talk about it in the morning.
And you won't go away?
How can I? We have the lease for 3 more weeks. Here. We'll go on a trip. That's a great idea. We'll go on a trip. And Jenny will get the house ready. You're getting better.
Better in body, perhaps.
My darling! I beg of you, for my sake, and for our child's sake, and for your sake, never let that thought enter your mind. There is nothing more dangerous. I am a physician, And you are getting better. I'm a physician. Is that not good enough for you?
So of course I said no more on that score, and we went to sleep before long. He thought I was asleep first, but I wasn't, and lay there for hours trying to decide whether that front pattern and the back pattern really did move together or separately. Hurrah! This is the last day, but it is enough. John is to stay in town overnight and won't be out until this evening. As soon as it was moonlight and that poor thing began to crawl and shake the pattern, I got up and ran to help her. I pulled and she shook, I shook and she pulled, and before morning we had peeled off yards of that paper, a strip about as high as my head and half around the room. And then when the sun came and that awful pattern began to laugh at me, I declared I would finish it today. I've got a rope up here. If that woman does get out and tries to get away, I can tie her. But I forgot I could not reach far without anything to stand on. This bed will not move. I tried to lift and push it until I was lame, and then I got so angry I bit off a little piece at one corner, but it hurt my teeth. Then I peeled off the paper and I could reach standing on the floor. It sticks horribly and the pattern just enjoys it. All those strangled heads and bulbous eyes and waddling fungus growths just shriek with derision. I'm getting angry enough to do something desperate. To jump out of the window would be admirable exercise, but the bars are too strong even to try. Besides, I wouldn't do it. Of course not. I know well enough that a step like that is improper and might be misconstrued. I don't like to look out of windows even. There are so many of those creeping women, and they creep so fast. I wonder if they all came out of that wallpaper as I did. But I'm securely fastened now by my well-hidden rope. You don't get me out in the road there. I suppose I shall have to get back behind the pattern when it comes night, and that is hard. It is so pleasant to be out in this great room and creep around as I please. I don't want to go outside. I won't, even if Jenny asks me to. For outside you have to creep around on the ground, and everything is green instead of yellow. But here I can creep smoothly on the floor, and my shoulder just fits in that long smooch around the wall, so I cannot lose my way. Why, there's John at the door. It is no use, young man. You can't open it. How he does call and pound. Now he's crying to Jenny for an axe. It would be a shame to break down that beautiful door. John, dear, I say in the gentlest voice, the key is down by the front steps under a plantain leaf. That silenced him for a few moments. Then he said, and very quietly indeed,
Open the door, my darling.
I can't, said I. The key's down by the front door under a plantain leaf. And then I said it again, several times, very gently and slowly, and said it so often that he had to go and see, and he got it, of course, and came in. He stopped short by the door.
What is the matter? For God's sake, what are you doing?
I kept on creeping just the same, but I looked at him over my shoulder. I've got out at last, I said, in spite of you and Jane, and I've pulled off most of the paper, so you can't put me back. Now why should that man have fainted? But he did, and right across my path by the wall, so that I had to creep over him every time.